Ishvaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Where Guru is the creator Brahma, Guru is the preserver Vishnu, Guru Deva is destroyer Maheshwara, Guru is the absolute single Lord himself. Salutations to that Guru who creates, sustains knowledge, and destroys the weeds of ignorance and guides to the supreme knowledge. Now, I request our beloved principal, Dr. Sandhya Ravi, to welcome the chief guests and all the participants present today.
Thank you, Arun sir. Good morning to one and all present in the 6-day virtual faculty development program, first of its kind in fashion by Nitte School of Fashion Technology and Interior Design in association with Bangalore Central University on the topic Fashion Design and Approach Through Creative Teaching. Nitte School of Fashion Technology and Interior Design was established by Nitte Education Trust in the year 2016. And since then, the college caters to fashion interior design aspirants to achieve their goal. The college has been achieving academic excellence both in curricular and co-curricular activities. The college is proud to bag the first and the second rank in the first batch of BSc Interior Design and Decoration course under Bangalore University and also has 100% results in both the design courses. Not only in academics, the college has bagged many national fashion show, designer awards, and best technical paper presentation awards at the international and national level by the students. First and the foremost, my pranams to Professor N.R. Shetty sir, who is unable to attend today's inaugural due to connectivity issue. I would like to welcome the chief guest for today's inaugural function, Mr. Dipanshu Bhargav, Marketing Head, Arvind Fashions Limited, Bengaluru. We welcome you to this 6-day virtual fashion faculty development program, sir. I would like to welcome our very beloved Mr. Rohit Punja sir, who is the administrator, Nitte Education Trust, for this virtual FTP. Sir is still, has connectivity problem because sir is connecting from Bombay. Due to last night's rain, sir is finding it a little difficult. He will join us shortly. I would also like to welcome our very own Dr. Hetzi Nagraj sir, Principal in MIT, who's always a part of our family in all our endeavors. Welcome you, sir. I would like to welcome all the participants across India to this virtual FTP program. Welcome you all once again. Need for faculty development program. Faculty development program in fashion design and approach through creative teaching in association with Bangalore Central University. This faculty development program is defined as various activities that all the institutions apply to support faculty members. The program is designed to improve the performance of faculty members through creative teaching in education, research, as well as augmenting organizational capacities and culture. Since fashion design is a skill-oriented subject where creativity plays a vital role in creating interest towards learning. The main objectives of conducting this FTP is attaining sustainable development and achieving higher growth rate, which could be enabled through creation, transmission, and dissemination of knowledge. Increasing internationalization in teaching is strongly supported by Indian education sector, is considered vital for India's capacity in research and innovation, which focuses on quality of teaching and learning. FTP program would enable faculty members to update their knowledge, research, and pedagogical skills. Faculties must adapt and respond to newer techniques in teaching. The aim of this FTP was to equip faculty members with required creative skills and knowledge for better teaching and student interaction, which is the need of the hour. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Nitte Education Trust believes that learning is a continuous process, especially to the Guru. And this continuous learning by the teachers of Nitte has helped to achieve academic excellence. Thus, we have organized this FDP to enrich the knowledge of faculties through interaction with eminent personalities from industries and academics to share knowledge and improve the teaching learning process. It also focuses on the development of faculty performance in education, research, and administration. On this occasion, I would like to mention that Professor N.R. Shetty sir is unable to join us today due to connectivity issues. However, sir has sent his best wishes to all the resource persons, participants, and the organizing committee for this FDP program. We thank you, sir. Now, let me introduce today's guest. Firstly, Firstly, it's my pleasure to introduce the chief guest, Mr. Deepansh Bhargava. Mr. Deepansh Bhargava graduated in BBA from Bundelkhand University and studied PGDM in Marketing and Events in National Institute of Event Management, Mumbai, and pursued Digital Marketing Expert from DSIM, Bengaluru. Then Sir further completed retail study tour in London, sponsored by Future Group. Sir also has 15 years of experience in retail in companies like Pantaloon, Future Group, DLF, and currently works with Arvind Fashion Limited. To his credit, he has many awards. To name a few, Brand Activation Award from TAVF Mumbai, launching of the best store in the country Erosity Award from IMAGES. Dear sir, we are pleased to have you here on this occasion. I now request our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Deepansh Bhargava, to address the participants. Over to you, sir.
Hi everyone. Morning. Thanks to Dr. Kumar. Thanks to Sandhya ji and all the dignitaries. It's pleasure to be associated with the college. And as Sandhya ji updated me a few days back that this is one of the occasion where we are actually getting into new things, the new ways, the new developments, the way the faculties can also be getting some support. So wishing all the best to everyone, and I'm here just to support the entire event. The event is fully thrilled. Good to see everyone at 9:30 a.m. In fact, everyone is charged up, so with a lot of positivity. Wishing the very best to faculties and the students for this occasion. In this entire thing, my small learnings in last 5 to 6 months is that how you can actually demonstrate your own work and spread the knowledge quickly, because if there is something which is required right now is the speed. If we can catch up the speed every day, and then the students knowledge is changing. They're grabbing a lot many things, they're reading a lot many things. At the same time, with this speed, we are doing a lot many things, we are learning as faculty members also. So that is why in all the webinars, whenever I am present, whenever there is something which is related to knowledge, or we have to share it with the students, I always believe share it what we have done recently or what we have studied recently, because it's as good as early morning's breakfast. You are as good as early morning's breakfast. So that's what only I will say, and wishing all the very best. It's a new way. It's a very new way, Sandhya ji. It's very new way to connect with everyone. So all the very best to the entire management.
Thank you, Deepansh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your best wishes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I take great pleasure in introducing our own NMIT principal, Dr. H.C. Nagaraj. Dr. H.C. Nagaraj, principal, Nitte Meenakshi Institute of Technology, was born on 4th May. Sir completed his BE in Electronics and Communication from the University of Mysore with a distinction. Sir completed his ME in Communication Systems from PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore, with a first rank. Sir completed his PhD in Biomedical Signal Processing and Instrumentation from the prestigious Indian Institute of Science, Chennai, in the year 2000. Sir has 37 years of teaching experience and is a member of various professional bodies, life member of Indian Society for Technical Education, life member of Biomedical Engineering Society of India, fellow of the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers. Sir has delivered talks in India and abroad at various conferences and workshops organized in the area of mobile communication, biomedical engineering, digital communication, instrumentation, digital signal processing, image processing, and many more. Sir has published more than 30 technical papers in national, international conferences and journals. He has also published a book on VLSI circuits under StarTech Education in 2006. Sir has guided many PhD students, and at the moment, six of them are pursuing for their doctoral under his guidance. Sir has won awards for best paper presented at National Conference on Biogens at IIT Chennai and state level seminar on introduction of flexible system in technical education. Dear sir, we are happy to have you here in the FDP inaugural event, and I now request Dr. H.C. Nagaraj to give his presidential remarks. Over to you, sir.
A very good morning to you all. Our advisor, Professor N.R. Shetty, was the former Vice Chancellor of Bangalore University. Our administrator is Rohit Punja. Our President is Vinay Hegde. The Principal of Nitte School of Fashion Technology and Interior Design, Dr. Sandhya Ravi Madam. My dear faculty members, invitees, and the chief guest, Deepansh Bhargav, and all my student friends. I'm indeed very happy that our sister institute, Nitte School of Fashion Technology and Interior Design, in association with the Bangalore Central University, has arranged this 6 days faculty development program on fashion design and approach through creative teaching, which is a relevant topic of today's world. And this is a 6 days program for faculty members. Nowadays, the students, their IQ level is very, very high, more than 120 IQ level, where when we were students, our IQ level was very low. But at the same time, we were putting hard work. Whereas the present day students, they want to follow the electrical current. Electrical current means the current follows only the least resistance path. Wherever the resistance is minimum, the current flows through that always. So the present day students, they want to follow the least resistance path, like a current. Minimum efforts, maximum outcome they expect. So their IQ level is very high, but they are not interested in putting hard work as we were doing. But at the same time, our IQ level is far lower compared to the present day students. So it is very difficult to keep the present day students very active in the classroom. So as a teacher, we should know the classroom dynamics first. We should, in the beginning of the class every day, we should get connected to our students. That means in the first 5 to 10 minutes, we have to give some real life problems. We have to give some case studies. And also we should tell about what we covered in the last class, some 4 or 5 minutes about the disease. We should link the portion covered in the last class to present day's class. So we should get connected to the students in the beginning of the class. That is very, very important. Otherwise, the student will lose the interest. And we know that the passion for teachers, or not only teachers, for anybody, I always say 4 P's are very, very important. The first P stands for passion. So we should have the passion to learn. As a teacher, lifelong learning is a must. So we should know how to learn, how to collect the information to journals, books, or like that. So passion to learn and passion for teaching is a very, very important. Without passion, we cannot achieve anything. The first P is for passion. The second P is for planning. We should plan every day what I'm going to do, everything what I've done yesterday, what I'm going to today what I'm doing, what I'm planning to do tomorrow, like planning. And third one is preparation. We should prepare according to our planning. And the last one is presentation. So we should know how to present before the students. So it is the students with a lot of science and technology. The students will be sending messages sitting in the classroom to the next friend who is sitting in the other bench about if the class is not interesting, he will say what we have to plan after the class, where we should go on. His mind will be always outside the classroom, not inside the classroom. So it is so for a teacher, it is very, very difficult task nowadays, and everything is student centric, not the teacher centric. And I used to quote always an example of a bad doctor and bad teacher. A bad doctor, if he's not good, he will kill one person in the operation theater. Only one person will be killed by a doctor if he's a bad doctor. Whereas a teacher, if he's a bad teacher, he will kill all the 60% at the 60 students at the same time. So all students will be killed. He should give a proper basic concepts, fundamentals that are very, very important. So bad teacher is more dangerous than a bad doctor. That is always I say. So keeping students in the active in the mode, we should have creative teaching. So creative is a very, very difficult word. Similarly, innovative is also very, very difficult word. So we should give the societal problems, take some case studies, role models, and we should take them to industries, exhibitions, field work. Then only we can make more interesting, and you can cover those things in your class. Even though it is not connected exactly with your curriculum, some small deviation you can do, and so that you can make the students to come onto the track, so that when the students start understanding, then only they will be inside the classroom. They will mentally they will be inside, physically they will be inside, but mentally they will be outside the classroom. So it is very difficult. So for a teacher, the curriculum design, that is curriculum content, is very, very important. We should prepare well content. Next to after curriculum design, then next is curriculum delivery. So we should know how to deliver to the students. Various methods I already told. Case studies, examples, live examples you should give to students, and very experts in the area. You should bring their life stories, biography of very important persons. You should tell their stories, how they come up in the life to the students. So this is curriculum delivery, different methods. And last one is curriculum and their assessment. So curriculum design, curriculum delivery, and curriculum that is their performance assessment or evaluation, they're very important. And the teacher, if you train the teacher, it is a train the trainer facility. So this is what the 6 days faculty development program, I'm very happy that you arranged to train the trainer. So if the one teacher is trained properly, definitely all other students will be getting trained. So it's a multiple process, like a cumulative process. So train the trainer system, that is faculty development program, is a must for teachers to update our knowledge, to know what is the new syllabus, new subjects, new topics, and it is not only locally, it should also be globally. So it is very important to know the market trends, the societal trends, and we should meet those things in our curriculum. And all this, and how to deliver curriculum, all these things can be taught by seniors, experts, invitees. I'm very happy that even guest speakers from foreign countries also have been invited for this 6 days faculty development program. Very happy about that. So as a teacher, we should learn from them, experts. And my request to all the teachers is, please involve yourself completely and try to interact with the resource persons, have a very good networking with them, keep in touch with them, ask your doubts and learn things. Always lifelong learning is very, very important, and we should make our students to understand what we teach. That is very, very important. So that is possible by using creative teaching, innovative teaching, lot of the different methods. Nowadays chalk and talk, our old method is slowly, it is vanishing, but still it is there. It is being replaced by click and speak. Click and speak means with the invent of computers, with ICT, that information communication technology. These things have to be blended with our regular normal blackboard teaching. They both are blended, then it is very, very effective. So we can make the students to learn better. So once again, I wish this faculty program all the success. I wish all the participants all the best. And on behalf of the management, I thank all the resource persons for having accepted our invitation. And also I thank the chief guest, Deepanshu Bhargav, and all our resource persons for having going to participate in this event for 6 days faculty program. And I also congratulate our principal, Dr. Sandhya Ravi, and also all our colleagues for having arranged this wonderful faculty program, which is the need of the hour. So I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your motivational words. As we come to an end of the FDP inaugural program, I, on behalf of entire fraternity of Nitte School of Fashion Technology and Interior Design, would like to thank our chief guest, Mr. Deepansh Bhargava, for accepting our invitation in spite of his busy schedule. Thank you, sir. I would also like to thank our very own NMIT principal, Dr. H.C. Nagaraj, who is constantly guiding us in all the academic achievements. We would also like to thank our participants, principal, and organizing secretary of this FDP, Dr. Sandhya Ravi, for giving this opportunity to organize this faculty development program with our constant support and guidance. We once again thank you all for joining us for this 6-day FDP inaugural program.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arun.
Thank you.
Dear participants, kindly note, we're about to start with the first session of the FDP Day 1. I request all the participants to mute your audio and video. I repeat, all the participants are asked to mute their audio and video for the smooth conduct of the FDP. Well, let's start off with the first session of the FDP on Fiber, Yarn and Fabric Science by Dr. H.L. Vijay Kumar. Let me introduce and welcome Dr. H.L. Vijay Kumar.
Good morning, everybody. It gives me immense pleasure to read Dr. H.L. Vijay Kumar's profile. In fact, sir is the senior most professor in the fashion fraternity at the moment under all universities. Dr. Hoselli Lakkanna Vijay Kumar, popularly known as HLV, was born on 5th May, graduated with a BTech from the famous SKSJTI, Bangalore. Sir got his MTech in Textile Technology from Anna University, Chennai. Sir completed his PhD under Professor Emeritus Dr. V. Subramaniam from Anna University on the topic Spirality and Low-Stress Mechanical Properties of Weft Knitted Fabrics knitted from different types of silk and modified ring and rotor spun yarn. Sir has an illustrious career which started in the year 1983 as a lecturer at Bapuji Institute of Engineering and Technology, Davangere, and to present director, Vogue Institute of Art and Design, Bangalore. Sir has 37 years of teaching experience with research, administration, and development. Sir has developed human resource chain for innumerable job profiles and has helped in team building activities for various apparel industries across India. Sir has written many research and project papers and has received a grant to a tune of rupees 1.5 crores. Sir has published papers in many national and international conferences and has numerous papers published to his credit. Sir is a member of professional bodies such as Life Member, Indian Society for Technical Education, Member, Institute of Engineers, Pattern Member, Textile Association of India. Sir has been actively involved in conducting national conferences under the aegis of Textile Association of India, which has received appreciation for bringing in the best resource persons under one umbrella. Sir has won many awards and accolades to his credit, and a few of them are National Award for the Best Research Work in the Field of Science and Technology by UP government. Was conferred the Honorary Fellow of Textile Association of India in the 71st All India Conference. Sir has also trained and guided students on governmental projects and helped them to win accolades. Sir has a MOU with Shakti Knitting, Tirupur for joint research and development in the area of Eri silk. Sir has guided many students in research for their doctoral degrees. Sir is the senior-most faculty member in fashion at the Bangalore University and is constantly guiding all the junior faculties to excel in their respective field. Nitte School of Fashion Technology and Interior Design, in association with Bangalore Central University, is honored to welcome Dr. H.L. Vijay Kumar for the first session of the first 6-day virtual faculty development program with the topic Fashion Design and Approach Through Creative Teaching. Sir will be starting the session with a basic topic on fiber and fabric science in fashion design. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Sandhya, Dr. Sandhya. Is it audible?
Thank you.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's audible. Thank you, ma'am. Nitte School of Fashion Technology and Interior Design, in association with Bangalore Central University, is honored to welcome Dr. H.L. Vijay Kumar for the first session of the 6-day virtual faculty development program on the topic Fashion Design and Approach Through Creative Teaching. Sir, we'll be starting the session with the basic topic on fiber and fabric science in fashion design. Dear sir, on behalf of NSFTID Fraternity, I cordially welcome you once again to this FDP. Dear participants, please note, kindly mute your audio and video to avoid any glitch in the session, and please cooperate with us to conduct the FDP without interruption. Participants can send your questions in the chat box and will be addressed at the end of the session. And kindly pin Dr. H.L. Vijay Kumar to your screen for PPT. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sandhya and the management of Nitte for giving me this opportunity to address, speak to my fraternity across the country. I think this is the second session I am doing this. Very recently, I gave a presentation. Can I have the slide, please? I also thanked Mr. Dipansh Bhargav and Professor Nagaraj. I could not interact today with Professor Nagaraj. I think he has left. He's a good friend of mine. I know him from many years.
Sir is very much there, sir.
Huh?
Sir is listening to your lecture.
Okay.
Namaskara, Vijay Kumar. Abuji College is a friend now. I know him very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Before they put on the slides, I wish to start my presentation before covering into the subject. All of us should understand the learning from last 5-6 months to the pandemic time, and looking into the learnings, our fashion industry can go in a different directions actually. From last 6 months, if you see, because of the coronavirus, almost all the customers are almost all the people across the globe are facing a lot of problems. At the same time, only one product which has protected all of us is textiles. Without the face mask, without the PPE, without certain gadgets, we would not have saved our frontline warriors or the common man across the globe. That is been accepted everywhere. But few things we should also think. Today we are in the era of globalization. I happened to attend a workshop, it is international workshop. I was a special invitee for that. Impact of globalization. Everybody was talking about impact of globalization only in terms of business development. But there are few researchers who presented their paper, impact of globalization on society likes these pandemics. But those things have been overlooked that time. Today you can find that globalization has also bringing a lot of problems like coronavirus, and which is affecting the complete business across the country. This everyone should understand this very clearly now. Whether to go back now, almost we have gone back by 40 years because of the coronavirus pandemic. Only product which has protected all of us is textiles. Only these textile industries are doing better in certain areas, and that has to be taken care with our discussion and presentation. Can I have our slide, please? Can please share my slides?
Just 2 minutes, sir. They'll be sharing it.
Yeah. For the teachers specifically, what we are trying to cover the syllabus, it may be common to fashion industry students and also for the textile technologies across the globe, across the country. But what we are going to take, I'm going to cover two areas, fiber and yarn science and fabric science, which already everybody knows the subject. But only thing what I'm trying to do is actually, I am trying to connect this subject to the industry requirement, what we should do it during engaging class. Fiber, yarns, on the fabric. These are all for a fashion institute, fashion student, looks to be a very tough subject. And always, Dr. Sandhya used to tell me whenever I said paper students always feel difficult to answer. Today, my paper become easy for everybody. That's the level of learning what our fashion institute students are doing, which is relevantly required for the industry. Fiber, yarn, science, fabric are the basic of garments. Without these fiber, yarn, fabric, garments cannot be developed, or the fashion industry cannot sustain. And also we know very well 65% of the product cost, the garment cost, comes from the fabric, comes to the fabric. That means that major share of the cost of the product, I'm talking about X factory, I'm not talking about retail factory, goes into the fiber, yarn and the fabric. Go to the next slide, please. Before I start presenting about everything, all my fraternity staff should think positively. What are the gains, positive effect of the FDP program? Can please endorse my presentation? Now, positive effects of faculty development program is actually the positive effect on the student academic achievement. That is the main concern to all of us, along with our attitude towards teaching. Whenever we learn new things, our attitude towards the teaching will also change, and which will gain, which are going to gain, faculty are going to gain a lot of knowledge and also skills from the faculty development thing. Normally, when the personality of the teacher increases, the behavior of the teacher also increases through knowledge. And sometime during this FDP program, the organization practice, teaching practice of the specific institutions also will change. These are certain positive effect of faculty development program all of us should think. And main stakeholder will be, one is faculty who getting a lot of inputs from the resource people, and they will be transferring this input to the students, where the student confidence to meet the requirement industry will get enhanced and positivity will increase. Please go to the next slide, please. Today, when you talk about fashion apparel design, because a lot of courses have been offered, BSc costume design, BSc fashion design, BSc fashion apparel design. I'm trying to cover up fashion apparel design. Most complicated structure is the fashion apparel design. Because fashion apparel design, for example, if you take textile, we cover more into textile aspect. When you talk about fashion apparel design, if you see the general category of the subject what we teach, almost 5 to 6 category of subject will be teach. It's an amalgamation of textile engineering, fashion designing, apparel manufacturing, computer designing, and also we bring a lot of management into that, and along with that, a lot of value addition to this. If you cover up, my first topic will be textile engineering, fiber, yarn, fabrics, processing, and quality control. And you cannot teach any of these subjects in isolation. Every subject is well connected. When I talk about fiber, we will come to know about what is required for the, when we make a yarn, when we make a fabric, when you go for processing and control, quality control, every fiber, properties of fibers are very connected to the end product also. That is the most important thing. All the teachers should understand that. Therefore, that should be carried to the student in a befitting manner. Therefore, student will get very good knowledge on the fiber. And these are the 6 different areas. All these 6 different areas are well connected to provide the best product to the market. Now, when we talk about present situation, see today, recently you might have seen Arvind has come out with a new product on antiviral, and a lot of products are coming out in the to protect our people. Recently there was a announcement, the top 100 industries which are doing extremely well during the pandemic time also. It has been the thing. All of you might have heard of Lululemon. It is one of the brand, and also some of you might have understand Under Armour, one of the brand, and Under Armour is one of the brand which has got one outlet in Bangalore. I don't know how many of us visited the Under Armour, which is in the Yeshwantpur, the mall, the biggest mall in Asia, which is there. And all faculty members and students should visit these specific brands and understand the product, understand the styles, understand the construction details. See, why I am talking about this, these Under Armour always manufacture activewears. When you talk about activewears, what fiber is required for that, what yarns is required, what type of fabric they are made, the people will be, students or faculty in a position to understand, go through the labels, understand the product detail. When they understand product detail, teaching of fiber and yarn science become very easy. See, normally what we try to teach is, we try to teach the conventional fiber, conventional yarn. Beyond that, we don't go. But industry, today's requirement is beyond that. I will touch upon all those things. If I just gave an example of Under Armour, you can go to the website and see the product details and state details, and also go to Lululemon, what type of product they are marketing. I happen to hear that more than $150 for one garment is quoting by Under Armour. Therefore, what type of fibers have been used? What are the comfortness provided to them? What type of construction they have followed? These are certain things we had to be very connected to that. Go to the next slide, please. Next slide. See, when we go back. When we start teaching any subject, for example, fiber and science or fabric science, one thing all of us should keep it in mind, what is the importance of this subject or relevancy of this subject to the course. No university, no board of studies will introduce a subject without any relevancy. Now, how this to be very connected with other subjects, and how can connect to other courses, other subjects, and what is happening in the industry, because what we teach may be 10 years old, and what is happening in industry, that particular new fibers and product designs to be covered under this, a teacher should know and try to educate the students such a way that what is happening in the industry, what is requirement can also be seen. The most important thing is actually takeaways from the subject. The present generation student is that once they study a particular subject, they forget the subject. I used to teach till now also I am teaching it. When I teach fibers, after exam students will forget the fibers. When they start talking about manufacturing of fabric, when I try to connect, a student may not be in a position to recollect. And when I start teaching dyeing, because when we start teaching dyeing, we try to connect it to fiber and the yarn and the fabric, they may not be in a position to connect these things. Because this is one of the major problem what I foresee among the youngsters. The teachers should be in a position to connect these things from the basics of fiber and the yarn to the end product. Therefore, they will understand the thing very clearly. See, one thing we should remember very well. Today in the industry, we are working in fashion industry. Fashion in the earlier days also, it has been considered on divided on the basis of the environment: summer, winter, and autumn. These are 3 areas. Today we may be having 6, or if you go to some of the brands, they are having more than 52 seasons. That is their marketing strength. But at the end of the day, if you divide the fashion, it is into 3 seasons only. One is winter season, one is summer, one is autumn. When you talk about season, how these products can be related from the fiber and yarn size, particular fiber, to provide the best comfortness to the wearer. Because when we talk about wearer, most important thing is protection. It may be from the environment. Second, this thing is a comfortness, psychological comfortness from the stitching aspect. These are the 2 things. When both gets satisfied, the whole personality of a wearer will go up. Now, when we talk about the fiber and science, it should be very connected to, we should always connect this to the end product property, whether this will go into the winter garment, whether it go into the summer garment, what are the parameters to be considered, that relevancy to be brought in during the first year. Otherwise, what will happen, that the same thing will be told in the fabric science, same thing will be told in the garment manufacturing, because when we also teach them fashion season wise. Go to the next slide, please. I just taken this from the syllabus which Sandhya shared to me. This is a general classification. We have today natural man-made fibers. In that, recently, when I was with a webinar with Ms. Shaktiveer, and across the world there are 5-6 experts. There was a question from the audience regarding why India is not in the position to compete with China. What is the strength of a Chinese industry and Vietnam industry compared to India? And Mr. Shaktiveer accepted the whole thing in front of so many audience. He said, India is only doing the job for summer wear. It is not geared up for 365 days product. What do you mean by that? That means India's strength is only in the cotton product. India's strength is not with the synthetic product. India, we don't have expertise in synthetic. He accepted in public. That means China and other countries are very, very strong in synthetics. Maybe polyester, maybe nylon, maybe some other specialized yarns which are manufactured by DuPont and other companies. But India, why Indian industry still concentrate on cotton industry? When you talk about cotton industry, the value of a product and the strength of the product compared to other things are coming down. We know wherever we talk about cotton is one of the best fiber for human being. But at the same time, when it comes to value addition, when it comes to turnover, when it comes to acceptability, maintenance, serviceability, synthetic fibers are also playing important role. And also, you know, wherever 85% of the product worldwide is synthetics now. Now that is where I just touched on synthetic and regenerative fibers. And there are, whenever we speak, teach students, we generally give a subject, all types of natural fiber, all types of synthetic fibers. But generally in apparel industry, the list what I given, these are the common fibers which are being used, common fiber which will be used by the apparel industry, and we should concentrate more onto these fibers. I think my presentation has come to the smaller size. Can you please enlarge the presentation? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, audible.
No, presentation become too small for me.
That's because someone presented, sir, in between. That's why I was.
It's a request to all the participants. Kindly refrain from presenting your screen, please. You'll be
Don't
disturbed.
share your screen.
Virupaksha, please refrain from sharing your screen.
I think Virupaksha has shared his screen. We can see Virupaksha's photos. Here, when we are talking about fiber, see, we should bring the go back. See, I am talking about these are the important fibers which is being used in the apparel sector, because I will try to connect to the apparel sector. Cotton, viscose, modal, tensor, bamboo, lyocell, polyester, nylon, acrylic, polypropylene. These are the common fiber which is used. Out of this, except polypropylene, which is used presently for nano for PPEs, rest of the fibers are very much used in the sector. But we also teach a lot of other fibers. This all comes under small textiles. But the only thing is, please go to the slide show. Only problem is we may not be in a position to give importance to these major fiber which has been used apparently. Therefore, these fibers to be given major concentration by the teachers to teach. See, when we teach, most important thing is we teach chemical structure. What happened? When we teach chemical structure, yeah. I am trying to bring relevancy here. When we talk about cotton chemical structure or the nylon chemical structure or some other fiber chemical structure, maybe cellulose, maybe animal fiber, we never touch upon the reactive sites present on that, because when they talk about reactive sites, maybe OH group or CH2OH group or NH2 COO group in protein fibers or amide group in nylon, relevancy of these sites are very connected to a moisture regain of the fiber and also its reactivity with the dyes. Because when the fiber could able to react with the dye with the reactive sites, automatically what will happen, your fastness properties of the fiber enhances, the dye enhances, therefore you can get a better grading of the fastness value. That's why while teaching this subject, most important thing is don't teach the chemistry part of it. I know the aversion of our students in terms of chemistry when we talk about. Try to give what is the importance of these reactive sites, maybe CH2OH or OH group in cotton, cellulosic, or NH2O, amide group in the protein, or it may be CO carboxyl group in the silk, and their relevancy in terms of the moisture regain, water of inhibition, or relevancy in terms of reaction with dyes and chemicals, which will enhance the performance of these dyes on the product. That's the most important why I specifically given this. And when we talk about all our teachers will teach these fibers, along with this, we try to give more importance to manufacturing. I will tell you which manufacturing is not a relevant subject for a fashion and design student. Manufacturing is the actually bread and butter of textile engineers. And for fashion designer, the most important thing is when we design a product, whether it is comfortable to the wearer, whether maybe thermal comfortness or the moisture regain, all those properties, we can get it from the fiber property. I just want to listed out most important fiber property, which is on the right hand side. Moisture regain. Moisture regain, once again, of the fibers. Therefore, that will give you comfort. Now, for example, if you take polyester or the nylon, both are synthetic. Nowadays, when you were children, nylon was nylon product abundantly available in the market. Today, you don't get nylon product. Once again, I will tell you, nylon products started gaining its importance in the world market. Nylon products are very much used across the globe now because of moisture regain, 4% moisture regain. Therefore, it gives better comfortness than polyester. At the same time, to bring competency to the other fiber, polyester is also doing a lot of changes. A lot of developments are taking place. Polyester is made more user-friendly in terms of moisture regain and dyeability. That's also happening. Therefore, the market is actually highly dynamic today. Every industry trying to provide the best comfortness to the wearer. When you talk about moisture regain, I told you it is one of the important property which everyone knows it. Natural fibers has got very good moisture regain property compared to the synthetic fibers. And it is relevancy of this specifically when I told the 85% of our products are polyester based. Then moisture regain is what is the impact of moisture regain, less moisture regain, which is going to have an impact on your anti-static charges. Then the wearer feels more discomfort to use it. Therefore, we are going for the blends during summer with polyester. When we talk about density, normally we can prepare a table and present it to the students. And also you can give a remark, importance of density today. Density is actually, it is a neglected value among the students or among the teachers. The most important thing is density is actually the volume of the fiber available. For example, polyester fiber, which is actually polypropylene is one fiber which is actually having a lowest density, 0.9, low, it is lighter than water. If you take wool, 1.13, silk, 1.3, now polyester 1.3 to 1.4, the cotton 1.52. Reason is very simple. As the density reduces, for the same weight, the product will be more bulkier. When the product is more bulkier, air gaps are more, and thermal insulation value increases. I think enhances the comfortness. Because when you select the fiber, why do we select wool for winter? Wool, like not only it has got a very good thermal value, along with that, wool has got bulkiness. Because of bulkiness, the air porosity are very high. Therefore, air is a bad conductor. It gives comfortness, thermal comfortness to the wearer. These are certain important properties. When you talk about chemical property, I always ask the teachers to cover two important things: reaction of fiber with alkaline acids. Because why I said these two, when we don't teach this, when the student comes to the third year or second year, when we start teaching dyeing, we use alkalis and also the acid. Students should know which fiber will be resistant to acid, which fiber will be sensitive to acid, which fiber is sensitive to alkali. Therefore, whenever I can give a case example, one of my student of Bapuji Institute, he sent silk fabric to Tirupur for dyeing using software dyeing machine. Because silk almost looks like viscose. What they did, they dyed the whole fabric with reactive dye. When they did the reactive dye, we use alkali. When we use alkali, the whole silk fabric got affected because silk is very sensitive to alkali. This is the reason why I just say, okay, when they talk about chemical property, talk about maybe fiber is sensitive to mineral acid, fiber is sensitive to the organic acid. Almost nowadays we banned the use of mineral acid in the industry itself. We can't use HCl, HNO3, H2SO4 for the textile processors. And also alkali normally does not affect. Therefore, some fibers are sensitive to mild alkali, some fibers are sensitive to strong alkali, because the fabric during the process will, if you don't select the right chemicals, it's going to have an impact on that. This is to be very clearly told, because fiber is a fundamental product of end product like garment. Your garment performance always depends on, garment appearance depends on your dyeing quality and also yarn quality, fabric quality. Coming back to the yarns, today in the industry, you can find, I just covered up one or two examples, what we used to cover. When we talk about carded or the combed yarn, many of us may not be aware of what is carded or combed. I am not asking about give the complete manufacturing activity of spun yarn for the fashion industry today. You give the flow chart with functional detail and explain them what is carded or what is combed yarn, because some of the buyer will ask you, convert, source the fabric, combed fabric, source the carded fabric with the carded yarn, or source the fabric with combed yarn, both warp and wear. How those things are designated, what is the difference between carded yarn and combed yarn, teachers should know, and also the difference in the cost between the carded and combed yarn, also to be very clearly told, and how they abbreviate, what is the abbreviation given to the carded and combed yarn. Carded yarn, normally you mentioned K for mentioned carded and C for combed yarn. And many of us may not cover up this single and double yarn, and where exactly the single yarn and double yarns are used in the industry, because wherever you require strength and also the weight, we go for double yarn. And advantages of double yarn, advanced single yarn, don't cover much into the other aspect of this. Then I told you 80% of our products are polyester. It may be a staple product or a filament. In spun, it may be cotton or staple fiber, including synthetic. Filament, we have monofilament, we don't use it in industry at all for apparel. We are always going for the multi-filament fabric, where the denier is very, very less. And we cover about texturization. Texturization, I seen in the syllabus, it has been added into, what do you call it as, it has been put into a different chapter, fancy yarns. Texturization is not a fancy yarn. It is a must for a filament yarn. Without texturization, no multi-filament, polyester filament or the industry will supply yarn to the industry. The main purpose of texturization is to increase the bulkiness, bring the property of filament or the appearance of the polyester product, or increase the bulkiness of the polyester fabric close to any natural synthetic fiber. It is only to include the waviness in the yarn, therefore the bulkiness will increase and air gaps will increase. Otherwise, the filament fabric looks like a paper, a newspaper. In these, this thing, properties and end users of the product. For when I talk about end use, where these are used in the end product like fabric and the garment, that is very, very important for all of us to understand in terms of yarn. Today, students may not be knowing what is spun yarn, what is filament yarn. In filament yarn, sometimes they may not be knowing what is monofilament or the multifilament. I told you monofilament is non-existing. We don't use in the apparel sector at all. In that, actually, what is texturization? Every yarn, polished yarn is texturized today. There may be different technique. One thing, objective of texturization, to be very clearly told, is not a fancy yarn. It is normal. It is a regular thing to be done for the filament yarn. Go to the next slide, please. Coming to the spinning, I happen to see the thing methods. Earlier, we used to teach them all types of manufacturing. Today, we don't require to teach. See, we have 3 different types of yarns because we are, many students are working in different, all these things, the areas. We require the yarn for weaving. What is the difference in the yarn quality for the weaving purpose? What is the difference for in the yarn quality for the knitting purpose? What is the difference for the yarn quality for sewing purpose? Because we can't use a over yarn which is used for weaving for knitting. Yarn used for knitting or weaving for the sewing purpose. Because there is a clear demarcation depending upon the end product quality. For example, your knitted garment will be soft. You require a different quality yarns for that. Weaving yarn will withstand the stresses and strain during weaving. Weaving yarn will be more stronger. And these yarns, weaving yarns, are manufactured using different techniques. It is a technique of manufacture. It may be a ring frame. You have blow room or the card or the draw frame or the simplex, all supporting machines. End machine is only ring frame. Then open-end yarn. Today, the most important development which has happened in India is compact yarn, because it is almost derived from the Syro yarn. Then we have air-jet spinning. I happen to see many orders which is buyer asks them to supply air-jet yarn fabric or the compact yarn fabric or open-end yarn fabric. Open generally used for low count now. Ring yarn cannot replace these things cannot replace any ring yarn. Therefore, most important thing what you should know is not the manufacturing of this thing. What is the difference in the quality of the yarn in terms of between the ring, open-end yarn, compact yarn, air-jet yarn? You can prepare a beautiful table, and at the same time, the yarn qualities for weaving, knitting, and sewing to be very clearly specified to the student, because these are the product which is being used, not during manufacturing. These are product used for this thing. The very less importance being given to sewing yarn, because when we talk about sewing thread, I will tell you, because when we come to the manufacturing of garment, sewing thread is being without sewing thread, your proper sewing thread or quality sewing thread, your performance of the garment will be lost. Normally, with a seam opening takes place, the whole garment performance will fail. And without a sewing thread, you can't. Today, you may be having a sewing technique. It is not a new technique, it's an old technique. But still, the flexibility or the compatibility with the seam is only between the sewing thread and the sewing machine and the fabric. If these things are there very well, automatically fabric quality or garment quality will be always better. We should prepare table what are the physical and the mechanical properties or the surface characteristic changes between these three. And when you use ring yarn, what fabric feel will be there? When you have an open-end yarn, what is the fabric feel we are going to have? Because these are all, when the yarn has got the particular feel, automatically fabric also will have the feel. Because fabric always enhances the appearance of the wearer, comfortness of wearer. The selection of right for yarn in fabric making finally into garment play an important role. These connectivity to be brought out very clearly to the blends. When you talk about blends, majority of our products in the Indian markets are blends. And very less importance is given to this. Here what we should do is actually, because blends is also manufacturing similar to the cotton only. Both machineries may remain same. Only thing is we are going to mix two different or three different fibers, maybe cotton and polyester, maybe viscose and polyester, maybe wool and polyester, any fiber we can blend. There is a blend ratio which is derived, which is not required. A specific blend ratio for looking at the environmental condition of the particular country. India, we may have 67% polyester and 33% cotton. Or 50% viscose and 50% polyester, or 65-35 in polyester wool, 65% polyester and 33% wool. These are the original blend ratios. But today, what has happened? Depending upon the different products is required for the customer, depending upon the purchasing power. Because wool cost is very high, 35% wool and 65% polyester. If you take because as the wool content increases, you can find the cost of your fabric goes up. It may be selling at 1,200 rupees a meter by Raymond. Therefore, you can go to the shop, make the student go to the shop, understand that in the Raymond showroom, what are different types of blended fabrics available in wool. If you take polyester wool itself, you can get 67-35, 65-35, you can get 80-20, I've seen gone up to 90% polyester, 10% wool. Only 10% wool content, automatically cost to cater the requirement to everyone, the cost also changes. This can be given as an assignment to the student, therefore they can understand very well. But only concept is actually whatever the limitations of the particular fiber, advantages of other fiber can be rectified using the blend. For example, polyester has got a very good strength. At the same time, it has got very low percentage of moisture. Okay, if you take cotton, cotton do not have good strength, and but moisture again is good. Therefore, we blend with 67% polyester, 33% cotton. Therefore, when you blend it, you get a novel yarn which has got polyester properties and also cotton properties. I'm not going to cover much into the fancy yarn. Because in fancy yarn, most important thing I try to give embroidery threads. Embroidery threads is one of the requirement of today's industry, because in India embroidery is without embroidery no women category can survive. Therefore, embroidery thread, varieties of embroidery can be brought in with other things. What we teach is actually most important thing is the physical appearance of all these embroidery fancy yarns to be taught clearly to the student. Therefore, while selecting a particular fancy yarn, they can select this. Now, coming to in the thread, last important is sewing thread. See, I've seen when the teaching, least importance is given sewing thread, but sewing thread is also part of the thread manufacturing only. But this is the one important thing where the fashion industry people uses day and night. What are the important properties sewing thread we should understand, because which has got a direct bearing on the which has got a direct bearing on the quality of the garment. Count of the sewing thread, we can call it a TKT or it is text. How to define the sewing thread count. Then strength of the sewing thread, because your sewing thread do not have strength, your seam performance may fail. Friction, because if the friction is high in the sewing thread, normally what happens while sewing through, when it passes through different parts of the sewing machine, which enhances the tension, it leads to seam puckering. Shrinkage of the sewing thread, because sewing thread should not shrink. If it shrinks after stitching, definitely it is going to have a seam puckering, rejection will be more. And at the same time, twist balancing. Because almost all the spun yarns are being given twist, and sewing thread always we go for double yarn, we don't go for single yarn, or they play 3-play yarns. When we go do this, automatically twist will get balanced. If the twist is having imbalance in the sewing thread, which is going to have a effect on shrinkage and lead to the seam puckering. These are some of the important properties a teacher should teach while teaching the sewing thread. And we should also teach about varieties of sewing thread which is available. It may be taught in apparel manufacturing. We know very well, teachers, student, this thing memory is very, very short. Everything gets volatile. Therefore, repeatedly we have to address these issues. If you take 10 times also, one thing I have seen, the most important thing is when these are all the first year subjects, we should make them to write 100 times what is the difference between fiber, yarn, fabric. I seen in the answer book, instead of writing fiber, they write fabric. Instead of fabric, they write fiber also. These are all, many students may not be in a position to understand the difference actually. Varieties of sewing thread, it may be coarse spun or it is spun or whatever it may be, or it may be polyester sewing thread or a silk sewing thread. Along with that, the property of sewing thread, what I discussed, to be briefed to the student. Therefore, the product sewing thread, understanding of sewing thread become easy, and selection of sewing thread for the right end product is very much required for the students. Next slide, please. Yarn count is actually one of the important subject for me, because yarn count always defines the fineness of the yarn. The fineness always gives you the best product for the garment, which enhances the performance of the fabric. normally, what are these many things? There are n number of varieties of count system. Only thing is, I asked the teachers cover only some of the important things, including today worsted. Very less we go into the worsted or woolen system also. We cover only definition and also the English cotton count NE, NM. Many times, what is capital M, small e, and small m. Re is for the linen and worsted. Because I seen when they get a tech pack, only these names should be. These names will appear in the tech pack. Many times, my students are not in a position to understand what is capital and what is small n. Small n for the inspiration, affix for N1 and 2. Therefore, this to be very clear, these are the internationally accepted abbreviations. Therefore, it is to be told. And I always feel that a student who graduates from fashion industry should know about yarn count very well, because day and night, any designer may be working in the apparel sector or maybe working in the fashion industry has to deal with fabric. When they talk about fabric, selection of fabric always depends on the count of the yarn. Whether the yarn is coarser, whether the finer, that is will be defined only through this yarn count system. In the come to direct system, linear for the filament yarn, I seen many students calculate using English cotton count. Finally, they convert, and text is a universal system. And proper definition. After definition, the defining they do very well. For example, somebody asks what is 40 NE, they should be able to reverse engineering, logistic they have to do. What is 40 NE, what is 20 text, what is different 20 text and 40 text, or for 40 NE and 20 NE, what is the metric count, where exactly metric count used, where actually NE is being used. These are all used for the spun yarn. This linear use for filament. Text is for spun and the filament. All those things to be specifically told repeatedly, because once they join industry, they talk more on to the more on yarn count. Very well. Then what is the importance of yarn count? How to calculate, how to convert from one system to other system to be precisely told to the student, because when they join industry, this yarn count cannot be forgotten by the students. How they maintain the counting graphs, that should be the thing. Woven, there's one chapter called a woven and knitted fabric structure. This is only they mentioned difference, because in detail they study in fabric manufacturing. We can also give what the difference between woven and knitted fabric. It is not a structure. Don't talk about structure. Talk about manufacturing difference and the property difference. Only that much you can cover it up. These are some of the things we can bring it between the two, woven and knitted fabric structure, ease of manufacturing, elasticity, dimensional change, other properties. Between what is the difference between these two fabric, woven and knitted, can be covered, and that will help them when they come to the next. I think the most important thing to be taken up from the fiber yarn science is actually because the basic thing for any end product like fabric or the garment is fiber and the yarn. If somebody, because fashion is derived through season, if they know fiber property very well, it's the right product to be selected when it comes to the product. See, the most important thing what I have seen, I cover up in the next slide, abbreviations used by the students. Many times happen to get this answer from the YOs also, not only from our students, from other students also. Therefore, we should, as a teacher, we should be in a position to clarify what is to be explained to the student and how they should use these technical terminologies effectively to communicate the product details. Go to the next slide, please. Next slide. Next slide. I'm going to touch upon Next is fabric science. Next slide, please. The title, once you understand the title, it is not technology, it is science. We are trying to talk about science more than the technology here, because in engineering we talk about fabric manufacturing technology or the yarn technology. Therefore, we are not touching more into the technology aspect. I'm trying to cover about the science aspect behind these fiber nanoscience or fabric nanoscience. Go to the next slide, please.
So 1 minute, sir. Technical problem with the network. Okay.
When you talk about fabric size analysis, I am not discuss more into analysis part. It is a laboratory part. I will covering certain things. Importance fabric in fashion designing. I already covered up, because any product when we design, the shell of the product is fabric only. And the fabric is going to enhance the personality of the wearer along with the construction and value addition. And fabric is the one which gives life to the product. Looking into all those things, we have to consider the importance of fabric in fashion designing. How the fabric changes the appearance of the wearer. The most important thing is selection of the right fabric for the right occasion. It may be when you talk about weaves, we know the characteristic of weave, which fabric to be selected for the particular occasion. And all these fashion seasons and fabrics are well related actually. When you talk about seasons, I told you about fibers. These are all related to fashion season and the fabric also. Instead of fabric properties of wearer comfortness actually, because today fabric properties and the fiber property, yarn properties is going to have the comfortness to the wearer. It may be physical comfortness or it may be psychological comfortness. And fabric property should give the best service to the customer. When you talk about today, irrespective of the fashion, Zara may come out with 50 cycles of fashion a year, but still in Indian context, very few accept the Zara model because of economy will make us to keep a garment for 2 years, 3 years. We don't change the garment. Very few will change the garment. They're looking into that performance. To be frank with you, our yarn quality, fabric quality, normally I never touched upon mechanical properties of fabric or yarn. The quality aspect of the yarn in terms of strength or the fabric are extremely very good across the globe. Today we are not worried about that. We are only looking from the point of comfortness today. You go to any industry today, everybody is looking for the comfortness of the wearer. You just go on Google search 37.5 brand. 37.5 brand will speaks about how to keep the wearer at exactly 37.5 degree temperature, body temperature, using the particular fabric. Therefore, your body will maintain the temperature. When you keep the body temperature constant 37.5 degree, you will be more comfortable. You can enhance, it will enhance your efficiency. There are so many brands, including Under Armour, you can find that they talk about how to manage 37.5 degree, that is body temperature. Using garments, you may use your electronics into that, you may use fabric into that, you may use innovative fibers into this. These are certain areas where fashion teachers should know how we 37 to next 10 years, I will assure you, it only on different types of finishes, different types of new types of fibers, where to maintain the temperature. And today you can find that different types of sportswear, workwear, already the specific products are coming out. Active wears, today active wear industry is coming up in a very big way. When you go about active wear, the most important thing is how to maintain the body temperature of the wearer, 37.5 degree. That is a brand I told you, you can go visit 37.5, give a thing, you get a lot of input. And on certain new fibers, I told you, DuPont has come out with new fiber. Today, you can find that there's a single layer carbon fabric has come out. We are trying to work on that area to develop the fiber. I gave a presentation in Tirupur also. Those type of fabrics are coming out very well. Therefore, new generation fibers have been developed. Graphene is one of the fiber today, which is being used as a carbon, single layer carbon product, which has got a very good thermal electric movement also, which can maintain the temperature. Graphene product has been very well coming to the market today. And some of the industries or product brands have already manufactured, sold graphene fiber fabric. Therefore, the new generation fiber, where teachers should know these things to convey, at least few of the students who want to work in these brands should know this development which is happening across the globe. Go to the next slide, please. In India only, we talk about these important aspects. When we talk about classification of fabric, we talk only 3 types of fabric: woven, knitted, or the non-woven. But except the medical application, where today PPE kits and other things, non-wovens have been very big used in apparel sector, it is lining and lining material. But complete world is ruled by woven and knitted fabric for the regular wear. And also you may be aware that knitted products have almost overtaken the woven product because of ease of manufacturing and also the comfortness in the product. But still woven fabric is competing with the knitted fabric. In India, we have 3 different types of product. One is khadi, which is, you can call it as handloom product, but still we have a different classification. And handloom and powerloom fabric. You can manufacture from conventional weaving machine or unconventional machine, but it is a powerloom fabric. Most importantly, when you talk about khadi, the importance of khadi, because what is the difference between khadi and the handloom and the powerloom fabric? It is very clearly to be told, and khadi cannot be, it will not be available everywhere, because many shops are there which sell as a khadi. Throughout the year, they give 10% discount. Now, those are all not the genuine khadi bundles. Khadi only gives discount during 40% discount during the certain season. Otherwise, those who are fake khadi bundles, as per the rules and regulations of khadi, they can't give you discount throughout the year. And where objective of khadi, and specifically khadi, a lot of designers are working khadi, and today a lot of developments are taking place. These are khadi product today. They talk about natural fabric and also to provide competition to the other milk product. The khadi Parivatra also come up to provide alternative product other than khadi product. Handloom today, as a designer, we should know about handloom factory. Handloom is the most important. That is one of the strongest strengths what we have. We have so many clusters across the country. If you go visit Development Commissioner, Government of India Handloom, you can get different type of cluster. Indigenous strength of each cluster to be studied as a part of the thing. Some of the universities, some of the institute, made it a mandatory to study the clusters. Therefore, the teacher should make them to understand what are the strength of individual cluster, what are the design strength of individual cluster. Therefore, if they could be able to source those products and start working, it will be always better. Now we come to the knitting, weft and warp knitting. In India, still we are not in a position to take up the warp knitting. But today you might have seen almost all the active lower wears are from warp knit. Weft knit you don't find. Weft knit is only on the upper part. Today, except some of the ladies wear in the weft knit, warp knit has gained more importance nowadays, but one is problem which India is not in a position to manufacture the warp knitted product, which is actually China has or Vietnam has mastered it. In warp knitted particles for this thing, polyester based or nylon based warp knitted. And the advantage of that is actually because of the stretchability that has been effectively used across the globe. And many of you may not be aware that today in the industry, four-way stretch fabric, it is today only Lycra along with the other yarn is used in wet weight. Today, four-way stretch fabric, both warp and warp weft, both the direction Lycra has been used. Lycra is going to play a dominant role in the fabric industry, where it gives a stretch. When they have a stretch, automatically your fabric expandability very good, which gives very good comfortness to the wearer. Therefore, restriction of the body will not be there. Own fabric manufacturing, you should give minimum importance to in terms of winding, warping, sizing. Only we can give a flow chart with explanation. But when you talk about manufacturing, to make the designers to understand, fashionists to understand, better to have audio-visual technique, or they use YouTube to teach them. Therefore, that will help them to understand, but not to waste much of our time in manufacturing, because after graduation, they will not go into this area at all. One thing they should know the fabric how the different types of manufactured fabrics are available and what are their properties. Please go to next slide, please. When you talk about characteristic of own fabrics and their importance, when you talk about characteristics, we are actually, these are the general thing. We call it as engineering of fabric. Where a fabric, when we engineered, normally these are the important parameters we consider: inch per inch, pitch per inch. These two are rated to the count of warp and weft, because what we do is we don't bring the relationship between the warp count and the weft count to the inch per inch and pitch per inch, which in turn decides the quality of fabric. If the yarn is finer, we can introduce more inch per inch and more pitch per inch. If the yarn is coarser, we introduce less number of inch per inch, pitch per inch. These are well related to GSM fabric, and GSM is the one important parameter which has been used less with us. But in industry, only two important parameters which every day they talk about GSM and talk about, they directly ask, get me this GSM fabric, get me this width fabric. These are the two important parameters to be told to the student effectively how industry uses it. GSM is directly connected to these parameters only. Width is actually when it is not talking about width, it is a width variation. Because width variation, generally when we order 1 lakh meter, we may not get exactly 50. If we give 1 lakh meter 50 inches, we may not get 50 inches throughout 1 lakh meter, because a room may manufacture 300 meters length. That variation to be nullified here, therefore that is to be selected. Coming to elementary views, why I covered these elementary views, what is the ratio if I want to bring in? For example, whenever students bring fabric to us for the final collection, and they say, they talk about plain meal, or they are fond of satin meal. When they talk about satin meal, I ask what is the material. They never use bring the relation between the material and the weave. They say satin, or they say plain weave, they say twill weave. But normally they don't say it is a polyester satin fabric, cotton satin fabric, or silk satin fabric. They don't bring the relation between the fiber property and this thing actually. That is to be very much to be brought in actually. Along with that, basic weaves, when we talk about, generally we don't try to teach all types of weaves which are there. Talk more free into the plain weaves, twill weave, the satin weave, the characteristic of this. And here, 2-3 important things. to be told to the students very clearly what is poplin quality, what is round cloth quality, what is casement quality. When they start working in industry, they say, get me poplin salt quality shirting material, long cloth quality shirting material. Get me casement may not be used in industry. Therefore, what is the different technical between poplin and the long cloth in terms of inch per inch and pitch per inch yarn count and warp and weft count? This is to be very clearly told. Here also there are variations here. That is to be told very clearly during analysis or during the manufacturing itself. Once they become strong in this, once they go to industry, they very easily they can handle this. And we have crepe fabric. Crepe fabric once again is derived from woven fabric. This thing on a plain weave only. But only thing is, what is the difference crepe weave and the crepe yarn weave? Because crepe yarns are one type of yarn which is manufactured using high twisted yarn. It may be polyester, it may be cotton, it may be nylon. This is any fiber can be used, any yarn can be used. But one thing is weave remains the same, plain weave only. That is what is the difference between crepe weave, crepe fabric, characteristic of chiffon, georgette, and the crepe or the oil to be very clearly told. In terms of fabric quality, to be very clear, to be brought out there to the students. Go to the next slide, please. When you talk about compound structure, I told you there are two types of fabric structure. One is simple structure, second one is compound structure. Compound structure where more than one set of warp and one set of weft can be used. When simple structures are there, where only one set of warp and weft, one set of weft is used. These are the structure which is used in the fashion industry, which are being manufactured extra thread weaves, maybe warp and weft pile structure, damask. Characteristics to be very clearly told what are different damask and the bucket. Warp or the weft pile. Weft pile normally corduroy fabric is one of the example. Warp pile we can use velvet or your terry towel. These are comes under the thing. The most important thing is actually fabric features of these things, how it looks, what are the characteristic is actually nothing but what are the function, whether it is for function property or whether it is for aesthetic. For example, if you take warp pile itself, your terry towel comes on warp pile and the velvet also comes on warp pile. Velvet this character is only for appearance on the field. When you talk about your terry towel has got function property of water absorption and also the comfortness feel whenever we use that. Along with that, we can provide aesthetic also into that. This is to be very clearly told. And coming back to the last, this thing actually, knitted fabric dressing. Knitted quality always depends on certain parameters like these are the loop length. Loop length play an important role. These are the important terminology which is to be taught to the student very clearly. And we don't cover much into, because in the fashion industry here, those who are already in Nifty, they have different types of courses. Therefore, we can cover only certain basic course structures of knitted structure, along with few modified like a Lacoste or the 3-thread or the 4-thread fleece structure with the loop diagram. And most important knitted fabric is, when you talk about single jersey, important is how the fabric looks like, appearance, and also shrinkage. Shrinkage part is the most important part in the knitted fabric. That is to be very connected with the geometrical parameter like loop length and the courses per inch and waves per inch. Here we have to talk about mapping of the industry. When you talk about mapping of the in India, where are the knitting industries are situated? Maybe Ludhiana, maybe Tirupur, or maybe other part. How big it is? All those things to be told very clearly in the classroom. Therefore, they can get a minimum knowledge on the subject. Go to next, please. I think this is our slide. We have non-ovens. Generally, you can cover today needle punching non-ovens. And most important non-oven technique today, which is being used effectively, the PPE, spun bonded or melt blown is not there. Spun is not there. Melt blown non-oven, which is being used for these two, are for synthetic needle punching non-oven, generally used for the staple fibers. and which is not much used for the apparel purposes, for the supporting material and also for the medical application where used and throughout there. That much can be covered in terms of nano-ones. I think I will I finish my presentation. Anything is there, I can take up the questions.
Thank you, sir. It was indeed informative and useful session. Dear participants, if you have any queries, you can send your queries in the chat box. I can raise those questions to the speaker.
Because almost this is 100 hours subject, I try to cover it in 1.5 hours, not 1 hour.
I repeat, if there are any questions from the participants, you can type in the chat box so that I can read out to the speaker.
Yeah, I'm just typing it. Just give me a second, sir. I'm Priyadarshini. Thank you.
Vijay Kumar sir, as always, very, very informative.
Thank you. I will try to connect only from the fashion design point of view, but always we can't teach this subject similar to what we teach to textile engineers or textile technologists. Lot of deviations to be made while teaching the subject to the fashion designers, because when we talk more onto technology, acceptability is very, very less. People will run away from the course.
Very true, sir. Very true.
Sir, I have just posted a question.
Yes,
Could you
madam.
please
Yes,
help
madam.
me out? Thank you.
Yes, sir. We have a question from Priyadarshini T. With your permission, I would like to read out the question. Okay. So, ma'am asked you to throw some light on textiles used for extreme temperatures like 30 and below, minus 30 and below. I repeat the question, sir. Throw some light on textiles used for extreme temperatures like minus 30 and below.
Minus 30 and below temperature fabrics. You want fibers or you want product? See,
Fabrics, sir.
Normally what will happen, we don't now, all these fabrics are all developed. For example, if you go to Army, Indian Army, Indian Army soldiers or those who are working in high altitude actually, maybe Siachen Glacier, where you get a temperature of minus 30 degrees Celsius. That is a place where you can find that. And also, sometimes what will happen, the specialty of this Siachen Glacier is, for us, Himalaya indicates that temperature will be very, very cool, and temperature will always cool. There won't be sunlight and like that. But only difference you can find, there is temperature, the sunlight will be there and the temperature will be very, very less, 30 degrees Celsius. Washing becomes so difficult. Nowadays, what they use the fabric, which is a normal polyester-based fabric, which has got a dough fiber inside that. It is actually padded with the dough fibers. Therefore, dough fiber, which is actually a type of bird which they get in Antarctica, which is actually being used there, it is padded with that, which has got a different types of characteristic, which will maintain temperature. And we were importing those products from Switzerland, and the complete one set of product which is used by one soldier will be costing us almost 5 lakh rupees. That's why Indian government has given us a task to develop the thing. And nowadays, what has happened in the army, I already told, usage of washing become a very difficult thing. Activated carbon imbibed garments are coming in a very big way. Therefore, activated carbon will have the automatic cleansing technique, and also it provides certain important temperature maintenance. On certain area, I seen some of the products, Under Armour, they are designed with a graphene product, graphene fiber, which has got thermal conductivity, which has been used to maintain the temperature of the body, where it can be lightweight, or you can use a reflective material, infrared ray printed fabric inside actually, which will reflect that body temperature itself, maintain the body temperature, whatever the human body temperature. Those type of products have been used today. Any other questions?
Thank you, sir. Hope the question is answered. And I think all the participants are so clear that they don't have any more questions, sir. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and experience with our participants. Indeed, it was interesting and informative session, sir.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you for accepting
I should thank Sandhya for giving me opportunity, because when she called, I never say no to her.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, thanks, Dr. Purushottam, sir. You are part of the presentation. You are my senior. Purushottam, always I seen him active in this thing also. Thank you. Thank you, Purushottam, sir.
I was very happy to listen to you after a long time.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
More than 3-4 years.
Yes, correct, sir. Correct, sir.
Okay. We once again thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and detailing on the topic fiber, yarn, and fabric science.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Dear participants, please note the feedback link for the first session will be sent in the chat box. Okay, please give us the feedback. And also note the second session by Mr. Purushottam B on apparel production fashion designers will start at sharp 12 p.m. You are required to join the meeting at least 5 minutes prior to the commencement of the session. See you all in the next session. Take care.